Greetings. Welcome to our show. Welcome to aBlogtoWatch Weekly. We're early for those that are trying to tune into aBlogtoSwatch. No, we're not talking about Swatch. Actually, we are going to talk about Swatch, and boy, do I have a plan. Anyway, welcome to aBlogtoWatch Weekly, and if you're live, then you're watching aBlogtoWatch Weekly live, but we're an hour early, so you're probably not, because you probably set your alarm clock to get up with us every morning, every Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock, and in fact, we're recording at 7 o'clock, so yeah, just consider this to be our own personal daylight savings campaign, where we just randomly change. Did you? Have you ended daylight savings? Okay.
Yep. The legislators have spoken.
Is that the one good thing to be done under the leadership of a certain... We were talking about potato vision a minute ago.
Definitely don't... This conversation's been going on for like 40 years now.
It's as long as I've been legally able to vote in the United States, there's been something on the ballots related to abolishing it. And I, every single time says, I don't know a lot of these names on this thing, but this one I feel strongly about. And we finally done it. So
when it will actually happen, we don't know.
That's the other thing. It's like a tax refund. You're given this much, but we'll tell you when you get it or not.
David has just haloed into the show. David, what are you doing? You appear to as like an angelic visitor, bathed in white light or green screen or something.
Is that AI, David?
It is AI, David. Do you remember?
He's either frozen or remarkably stoic.
The Davitar.
Do you remember? Oh, what was the guy called? Blonde, and he was all blocky. Oh, it was probably a UK thing and not an international thing. Max Headroom. Anybody familiar with Max Headroom?
Was the writer on that?
Your dad was I thought you said my dad played Max Headroom. He was Max Headroom.
No. He was the writer on that.
Your dad was a writer. There we go.
Yeah, that was before my time, but that's
How do you write his dialogue?
I don't know if you've ever met my father. He's a colorful individual.
Headroom. Anyway, sorry, go on. David has disappeared again, so he's been raptured back up to the heavenlies. Maybe he will rejoin us again shortly. Right.
The last vision of David Brennan.
The last vision. That's it. We saw him. We saw him being transmogrified, transmuted, whatever it is you trans do when you get taken up to heaven. Anyway, what were we talking about there? You guys were talking about something before David interrupted us with his heavenly vision.
Nope.
Can you remember?
He erased everything.
Oh, God. He's erased everything. It's
all topics are erased.
All topics are erased. They're going to wish they were. Well, myself and Ripley were talking about potato vision before and discussing as to why it's called potato vision. I thought it was called potato vision because the concept was you cut the potato in half, you take the starchy bit and you rub it over the lens and it blurs everything. Ripley thinks it's because...
it looks like it was shot on a potato.
And I still don't know what either of you are talking about.
Well, I mean, like, Rick, yours is really accurate, like very accurate. Like if you did that, it would probably be the results, but I don't know why anyone would do that or why that would be the thing that people would call it that.
When you have surplus potatoes, you get bored. And I've just never had that surplus of potatoes.
I'm thinking it was an old Hollywood trick to get the bottom of the screen blurry. You'd smear it with potato. It sounds like the kind of 1920s camera tech you would use to make something blurry at the bottom.
No, they'd put like petroleum jelly on it or something like that.
Okay, so it looks like it's been filmed on petroleum jelly. Anyway, because our audience are so wonderful and have fed back loads on the Cardinal points debate, in particular with regards to the news watch from Benny from Crossroads, we have a definitive answer. So China, Vietnam, Korea, Japan also use the sequence east, south, west, then north. So they go round in that direction anti-clockwise, but starting from east, south. Makes perfect sense. Also, this is from Michael on the chat. If you want to join the most educated but probably least watch content-y watch WhatsApp group, then this is the one to join. I'll display the QR code.
You're really selling it, man.
Yeah. In traditional Indian text, rituals and general language pairings, directions are often chanted or ordered starting with north or east. So there you go. That's
Didn't someone just
apparently a thing.
clarify it's that Prince album and that's that? Because we know that he's obsessed with the music industry and he just wanted to copy Prince. I mean, isn't that's for me the most plausible thing.
Is that a thing? Right. I think it's still that the marketers told him that was the website that was available.
There was a Prince album from the early 2000s with that name.
Oh, there you go. But it had nothing did it have anything to do with the compass?
Yes.
I'm not a
That's
follower
what the
of Prince's
commenter
music.
claimed.
Right, okay. I have not seen that, so there you go. Nothing like trying to,
Sorry to dispel the whole mystery
well,
there.
it wasn't dispel the whole mystery. It's just that he says it's a cardinal point. Nobody says the cardinal points now, except him and a dead rock star. So there we go. That's it. Right, so that's why we're asking the good listeners to this podcast can tell us, especially as lots of them will be involved in cameras and things, where does the phrase potato vision come from? So that's your clue question.
Which
for
I'm
next
not
week.
convinced is the phrase.
So first of all, you got to convince Ariel that it does exist as a phrase, and then you got to tell us where it comes from.
I
Is that
don't
like
know.
WandaVision?
I haven't heard potato vision before. If I'm being fair, it's usually like, oh man, that looks like it was shot on a potato or something like that.
Oh, okay. No, potato vision. Listen, maybe we'll just get credited by the Oxford English Dictionary as the original source of the phrase potato vision. Because
Rick,
it's the first time it's recorded.
You've got a farm. Do you want to grow a lot of potatoes and test this out?
I do grow potatoes. I do. I will bring a homegrown potato next week and smear it over the light. I'll get
How many
camera.
varietals of potatoes do you grow?
I don't grow a lot. It's like an allotment size rather than a whole farming venture. I think there's 3 kinds growing this year. First,
so we'll
Early's,
test all 3.
Early's, main. Test all 3 for their potato vision quality. You know I'm going to do this, right? You know this is going to happen. Okay, that's fine.
We apologize in advance for the
Was there a
video
Mr.
quality.
Potato Head wristwatch? Has that been a thing yet?
Potato? Did they wear a watch? Potato?
No, like
vision.
a Mr. Potato Head wristwatch.
Don't know. We'll Google it and see.
One that uses the concept of Mr. Potato Head or one that is themed like Mr. Potato
I'll
Head?
take
as in-
either one, actually.
As in
Well,
one you can just take apart.
Yeah, they have those ones that are like kind of modular and you can like swap the central thing into like a dive case or a dressier case, like, So I guess that's sort of Mr. Potato Heady. I don't know if there's one, brown, big eyes, top hat style.
Mrs.
there needs
Potato
to
Head. Mrs. Potato Head. There we go. Right, again, just checking the chat. For some reason, the live stream is not coming through on the new version, so apologies to all those taking part. I will try to interact directly in the YouTube chat. But there we go. Right, what shall we talk about first this week? What seems like... Let's start with some actual watchy stuff.
Actual news?
Actual watchy stuff. There's plenty.
Not Benamias news?
Oh, no. We'll give Benamias a break a little bit.
Can we have a segment, the Benamias News Corner?
Ariel, can you get him on an episode of Superlative and just like get him to fully explain just what is going on and why so many zippers on his jacket?
So here's the thing.
He's tried.
No, I'm sympathetic because a while ago I was at an event. I had a long conversation with his daughter. His daughter's pretty nice. And every single time I think about making fun of him, I just see like the look on her face. And she's like, he's trying so hard. Like, he's just kind of this goofy guy, And she works in the music industry and she's probably the one that set him on the whole Prince thing anyways, right? Like,
That's her fault.
we know his entire venture is going to implode. There's no question about it. None of this reeks of success. So it's like, let's just let him launch, fail, and be done with it.
Dave is back. He's replaced his heavenly... everything's moving.
How is it moving with you?
How is it moving with you? What's going on?
Is that part of the back of your head? Are you wearing like a headdress?
I realized there's this extra gag for the viewers, so why not go with it? We have not explored Riverside properly just yet.
All right, okay, good. There we go. David's here. Welcome, David. So because David's here, we'll start with a watch piece that David wrote. Before we get into the guts and the meat of GPHG, and Swatch
no.
Group rejection letters.
I just threw
we're
up on my
there.
mouse already.
I have a plan. You're not going to like the plan, but I do have
No,
one.
we're not.
Right. Let's share.
Is it winter in Scotland already?
It's just an hour earlier. That's all. Right, the watch review, Ulysse Nardin Freak X 2.0 gets a complete overhaul and a new price. David, thumbs up for the complete overhaul, thumbs down for the new price, or both thumbs up or both thumbs down?
It's thumbs sideways for the overhaul and down for the price.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us about what they've done.
This was difficult to write because I love Ulysse Nardin and I, of course, love the Freak and the Freak X. And it's just shot up in price. Adjusted for inflation, the Freak X should cost 27 grand. When it debuted in 2019, it was 21. Mm-hmm. That would be 27 something these days. And these, as you can see on the screen, is are 41.2, 42.4, which is just wild. I mean, over $40,000 for what's supposed to be an entry level Freak is just insane. And the fact that it has lost this entry level nature, and I bring this example that when it debuted at 21,000. Folks around me, people who have had a number of nice watches, like Omegas, Tag Heuers, Roxys, whatever. Many of them were tempted to sell all of them and get a Freak X, and some of them actually did that. But when it's 40,000, you're not looking at selling or your Tag Heuers and Omegas and jumping into one of these. It just completely changed the whole thing, the whole premise of the thing. So that's not great. Finishing is nicer, but the question is, did anyone ask for that on a Freak X? I think it looks great. And this one looks nicer, of course, but not that nicer. And the bracelet is just not good enough, unfortunately.
That bracelet, oh boy.
It does look... It does look a bit expando bracelet or whatever those things are called.
This clasp, which everyone has used this clasp, and it's not a very good one, and it's just this standard double deployant butterfly thing. Can we destroy the CAD design for it? Can that be like some dark ops mission that goes down on the shoot-a-thon where someone goes in and destroys the files for this clasp so we never have to see?
Ripley. It's a legend.
I don't care. All of this talk about innovation, I know it's thin, I know it's pretty, I know it's elegant. We can make something better.
It's none of that.
It's the same clasp as on the Christopher Ward 12, is it not?
It's the same clasp on some Eterna I have downstairs from the early 90s.
That clasp exists on maybe 80% of the watches I have.
Why this clasp though? Of all the generic standard go-to clasps, this isn't even in the top 3.
Yes.
I don't know why the prevalence of it. And then again, when it's a $40,000 watch, that just kind of hurts.
A micro rotor.
It really does. First ever micro rotor in solid gold on a Freak, not just Freak X, but Freak. But again, who cares? I mean, it's cool, but it's just like these little things that nobody asked for.
Yeah.
And
could
you
pull up, Rick, the Beauvais website? They have a similar bracelet. I'm curious as who does it worse.
We'll get. I'll just
probably it's the same supplier.
There's no way there's not bits of elastic in that strap there. Come on, there's definitely
it's not elastic, but what I'm trying to illustrate here is that dirt gets in there, so and it's always peeking out at you. All the dirt in between the links. And when you're wearing the watch, these large gaps, not exactly here on the third or the fourth, but more like the first gap on the bracelet. It's just this crevice, basically just looking at you from the bracelet at all times. And look here, the first and the second slits are just why would I want to look at that at all times?
Yeah.
It's just,
look
at that.
Close-up shot. Oh dear. Right, I'll stop sharing that and we'll share the Beauvais website. Just because that's always a fun thing. When was the last time anybody visited the Beauvais? Employees don't even visit
They're
the
sitting
Beauvais
there
website.
at work and they're like, look, a visitor.
Clear away the digital spider webs.
Yeah, time to choose. Here we go. This time isn't something we own, it's something we choose.
Oh boy.
I should have put that in my answer to this Swatch question.
That's not a bad phrase, actually.
Right, okay. Collections.
I'm not sure how it's relevant to
Wait,
a watch.
You'll have to look at. I don't know that the bracelet's just going to like break front and center.
Yeah, I'm trying to find
It's
the
going to
collection.
be buried deep in this.
It's in one of the cheaper watches.
It's one of these permanently scrolling websites
God.
with no actual menus.
Oh my God, I'm getting
I
good.
thought
dizzy
that
already.
said the collections.
And that's what I clicked
None
on.
of those were
It then just gives you a long.
Oh,
I'm on the collections, but I need to choose
Just
one.
click on
so-
something, Rick, for the love of God.
go higher. Maybe. Oh.
Okay, it's not
No.
going to be the
Maybe not
this
this
No,
one.
it's not a Fleurie one.
It's not
Now
going
go
to
back
be
to
Yeah.
recital. I think it's one of the recitals.
Right, okay. If I can, good grief, this is a bad. Oh, Recital 30. This is a bad website. Oh,
Oh wow! It's, oh gosh! Time to choose. I just want to choose already.
I have to go all the
I
way
just
back
want
down
to
to
choose.
the. Where's the site
I'll throw up.
collect?
There it is, there it is.
Recital.
Right here, live
So
on air.
close.
I just done this
Discover. God, so small.
I've discovered.
And,
Oh, how can
and
I give
all
us-
these patterns are radiating like that as well. It's just super nauseating. The Rolex
Okay.
website actually has a setting that I discovered, which is to reduce movement or something like that.
Oh,
It
right,
sounds
okay.
funny on a website.
Gallery
Watch website.
specifications. Right. This is just a single. Okay, we need to go
It was
back to
a
collections
watch.
again.
Oh no.
Back to collections again. This is the listen. We visited some
This is-
some bad websites sometimes.
Do-
So, what do you reckon is
So
a
far,
Fleurie?
they have
Is there a
one
s-
watch they sell. No, we've been there already.
Search for bracelet.
Why would
No.
we go back?
We're back.
Can we use-
It's the only place
Can
we
we
can
use
get
the
to.
internet like somewhere else?
Yeah,
Can some-
Google,
what
search,
if you-
and literally anything else at this point.
Any Beauvais watch, please. That
At
does-
this rate, they could mail you a catalog in hard
Inquiry.
copy
Let's-
I
quicker.
love it. Is there no search thing on their
doesn't
website?
appear
Oh
to be.
God!
It
Is
was
that,
the
is that like their
12.
take on the Mont Blanc logo in the
No,
background?
we've got
What's going on there?
collections.
Ooh, I've never seen that
It was
before.
the Recital
This-
12.
Who thought we must be the people
Under
that have spent
30.
the most time on the Beauvais. We've spent more time on the Beauvais website in the last 5 minutes than anybody has ever without having an epileptic fit. This is terrible. I'm back
Making
to
a
Fleurie
website is
again.
hard.
No,
but
we're
it's
on the
not-
same page. We just went back to the same page.
This
That's all the
website
pages-
actually
that's-
manages to upset AI.
That's all the pages that there are. That's it. I've got Atelier Beauvais,
Les
Fleurie,
Ateliers.
and Dimier.
No,
Dimmer.
it's a Recital 12. Just use the Google. Just Google it.
Google it. Right.
Please.
Beauvais.
Rick's trying to do it the
Beauvais.
right way.
I'm trying to do the
That's true.
Beauvais
Yeah.
Recital
The way that Mr. Raffi intended.
12.
You must
Oh
recite
my
it
God, the
12
screen
times.
stopped spinning in front of me. I feel so much better now.
Images.
Your
So-
rock
there we
wall,
go.
Ripley. It's just a breath
Hold
of fresh
on.
air, really. It's our
do we-
escape into solidity.
Okay, our only problem is that the website is making us go to is Mr. Porter, which is even worse. Right, hold on, let's
Oh, God.
go into this. Is this what you're looking for?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the
Yay.
Beauvais Recital 12 hand-wound titanium watch used for $29,000 or pounds
So you
even.
see, this is a better value. I mean, it's not a freak. It doesn't have a spinning
Oh,
freaking.
it is a freak.
You know,
It is definitely a freak.
thing. But it looks better. I mean, this looks like a better bracelet.
I'm just
than-
saying,
than
like
the
when
freak.
this Beauvais bracelet came out, I was like, that looks cheap for the money. And now it looks great compared to you know what.
Anyway, there we go. So that's probably the only time we'll talk about Beauvais in this show in the next year. So yeah, enjoy it while it lasts, Beauvais.
The Beauvais moment, everyone.
A Beauvais moment. That's our weekly. I like the sound of that.
It's like a rare Pokemon.
That has a touch of
We
class.
saw
to
the
it.
Beauvais.
And
Did
now
you see it?
for our Beauvais moment. For your moment of, isn't that what they do in CNN? For your moment of tranquility, now for your moment of calm. Now for your Beauvais
Oh,
moment. Do they do
CNN.
that?
What a
Is that-
brainwash nonsense is that?
If you didn't have vertigo before, you will after 3 minutes on the website.
Anyway, right. Ariel, talk to us. Enthusiasts and brands should be talking about daytime and nighttime watches. Why? Bear in mind, it's nighttime quite a long time here. So
well, I'm so glad you asked. I am always trying to find new ways of categorizing wristwatches. People are like, oh, do you have this in your collection? Do you have that? You know, the more watches you have, the more reasons you need to get new watches, right? So when you've had a bunch of categories and you've had all the major colors and things like that, then you can start to segment it down to day and night watches. And that's what I sort of advocate. I say that people should start thinking about certain watches being a little bit more suitable for night, a little bit more suitable for the day. Okay. And in practice, it works out that way. Yes, there's some watches that you can easily read in one or the other, but what do we like watches for? Hyper specialization. And when you focus on hyper specialized tools, there's definitely watches that excel better at sort of vision and dark instances versus light instances. You have white dials, for example, that are meant to be legible when there's like a lot of bright light shining right on it. Like, and that's a very special scenario. Obviously, you have different types of lume and things like that. So to help brands offer more reasons to have a new product other than, hey, new color, you know, people should do that. And, you know, you have, for example, over the last 2 years, a lot of people having watches with fully lume dials. Okay. I would argue that would fall in the night watch territory, but like, and guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but in each of those instances, every single time the brand released those, they completely to suggest where somebody might want this or why you would want to have a watch with this much lume. I don't care what company came up with it. I have yet to see one explanation. And I think it's a digestible story to be like, oh, that's a nighttime watch or that's a daytime watch. Just again, further create conversation and help people bolster and segment their collections.
Okay, so
that's because lume needs no explanation. Lume is lume. We love lume. That's
for a man like you. I understand that.
Yes, but you know, that's
once lume walks in the door, you need no further motivation.
I'm reaching for my wallet already. So
it's like that meme with the guy and his girlfriend walking together. They turn around, and for David, it's just a lume, just a big pot of lume,
just a blob of a lume
with diamonds on it.
But actually, I really like this idea of separating watches into day and night, because that basically invites us to a second tier of watches. Like, is that a night dive watch or a daytime dive watch?
Okay, so favorite.
We get to have two of everything.
The Daytona and the Nighttona.
There we go. Okay, writing that down. Heard it here first. Rolex's new release, the Nighttona. I like that idea.
I just came up with that on the spot, by the way. I was not saving that.
It's a 24-hour race, so
well
there
done.
should be one.
There should be. That's absolutely. Let's produce.
That's brilliant.
There must be some Chinese knockoff shop we can contact. Say, could you produce us a Nighttona, please? Right. So, what you own, which you reckon is the most night watchy of your watches, David?
Probably the Vulcan Cricket.
To wake you up.
Yeah, and just because it makes a sound. Yeah.
Cool. Ripley, the most nighty watch, nighty night watch that you own. And you know that we're asking Ariel this question and we're asking him last. Look at the panic. I've got to make a decision.
It's already panic.
So I mean, it'd either be a Luminox, the ISAR for the Icelandic search and rescue, because tritium tubes, or the Storm Chaser G-Shock, which has luminous carbon fiber layers in it.
Okay. Are you ready for this? Should we give Ariel a drum roll for this answer? Ariel, you wrote the article. You must have at least have thought, this is the watch I own that's the most nighty.
So I've had different watches over the years that kind of light up on demand, whether it's the the Nixie tube watch or the working replica of the watch from Escape from New York that Snake in the movie wore and stuff like that. Those are things that you light it up during the day, not so excited. But when you light up one of those things at night and there's not Nixie tubes, that's fantastic. Yeah. Of course, you have tritium gas tube watches and stuff like that, which are great. And again, there's like tritium gas tubes, no use for it during the day. Like it has literally no use whatsoever.
You can't see it.
Yeah.
Yes. It is the one disappointing thing about tritium gas tubes. You don't get that whole day lume thing that you occasionally get with
and
a
that's why
Panerai or something.
often uses both on its watches.
Yeah,
It'll have
okay.
tritium tubes in the hands and hour markers, and then they'll do like a luminous gasket on the crystal and some little luminova bits, because you want to be able to walk out of a dark room or something out of the sunlight and go, ooh, that's what's up.
I mean, it's
Money well spent.
There are a few better feelings, few hits of dopamine better than the little hit of dopamine you get with a bit of Daylum. It just makes
why does radium have to be so poisonous? That's what it's about. I want the real, poisonous day glow of radioactive materials. That is the sweet spot right there, I think.
Is that what it is?
It's a niche, is what I would call it, not a sweet spot.
And you're one of these people that takes the Geiger counter along to the watch meetup just to prove to everyone it's still radioactive.
That's how you find out Ariel at a get together, like.
But we take Super Luminova now, and we're like all excited by these little charge. That stuff did not need to be charged. It was just glowing all the time. That's cool.
Great.
That's what we. There must be some country where it'd still be illegal to make that sort of stuff.
Oh yeah,
sneak it out from somewhere.
Absolutely.
Anyway, right. So, what did we think? Did we think? My guess is, Ariel, you don't suddenly think that this article is going to move the needle in the way that you might like it to. But which brand? Focus on a couple of brands, like Grand Seiko.
How do I want this to move the needle exactly?
Yeah. Well, you wanting brand? You're saying brands you should advertise. You should market yourselves more. This is watches very specific for day, and this watch is very specific for night. Which brand is sitting on the best resources to do that with their current model? Which brand's actually going to benefit from doing that?
It takes 3 years. 3 years, you'll start to see this.
3 years to start to see this. Okay, we'll look forward to that in 3 years.
You heard it here first.
Excellent. Right. Where are we going to go now? We're going to go to Swatch Group. Okay, so
can I just say? Sorry, can I just say I'm so sad about missing last week's show. I was listening to it and I was just shaking my fist. I wanted to say something.
I think we should give the floor over to you for last week's rant this week. So feel free, David.
Yeah, David, have you ever spoke bad about the moon? Swatch wants to know.
Not yet. I praised it for saying anus on it twice, or maybe even 3 times. So I think I've been one of their biggest fans. Not anymore. Yeah. What's this ESTA nonsense?
Exactly. So this is where we're up to. So we'll share the Swatch website. So this is what you could have won. Apparently,
the rejection.
Did I see a number that was over 1 million people?
Don't say won. That sounds like you win it and get it for free. This is what you win the opportunity to buy.
There's no winning involved.
1 million people
it's a lose-lose situation.
Yeah. So 1 million people filled in the thing. I was one of them, mug that I am, to get the chance to buy one of 1,969 of these. Now, I don't know if the answers are still up here, but they actually published the ESTA answers revealed. So if you filled in your ESTA, this is the answers that they wanted. So they wanted, have you ever gifted a golden table clock to a president? No. What happens if you have? Keir Starmer just got kicked out of office here and was given a carriage clock by the rest of the cabinet. What happens if I was a member of the cabinet? Okay, maybe not a president.
Who are they more angry at, Trump or Rolex?
Rolex for sure.
It's a good question. Have you ever spoken badly about the moon on social media? No.
I love that there's a right or wrong answer for that.
There is a right or wrong answer to this.
Here's the one. Have you ever spoken badly about Omega or Swatch on social media? No was the right answer. Now,
the ballsy thing would have been for them to say, yes, it's fine as well.
Exactly. That would have been the thing to do. Because now all they've done is for everybody who... they've basically made an enemy of it. So I got the email, and the email says... we regret to inform you that your electronic Swatch timepiece application ESTA has been declined.
You disloyal bastard.
Yes, exactly. So it's basically told me I am not welcome.
Yep.
So if I hadn't already spoken about Omega or Swatch badly in social media, what do they think is going to happen now? Do they think I'm suddenly going, oh, that's really nice that you said no to me?
No, they think that you'll continue to be, I don't know, hide your real feelings so that the next time they ask you some humiliating thing, you'll answer honestly.
In fact, though, what I'm going to do is we're going to review a swatch immediately after this. Let's see if maybe this whole process has somewhat dirtied the water of how we might view Swatch. But I've come up with a better idea. You see, there's a little thing in the European Union called GDPR. And the Swiss are part of it. So you have the right now to email. Let's just share this screen. And I think I'm going to do this and see what happens. So here's the privacy notice from the Swatch group. What are your rights? You have the right to request from us access and to rectification or deletion of your personal data. And how can you contact us? There's the data protection. There'll be one of it. Go to the what are your rights section and the data section of whatever country you happen to be in and find this page. Here it is dataprotection.unitedkingdom@uk.swatchgroup.com. And I can email them and ask for either to remove me. So someone's going to have to put some effort in the same way that I put effort in to fill in their form to actually remove me from their database. But better than that, I can request access. So rather than asking them to delete it, I can just ask them to send back to me everything they have on record about me. And that's going to involve a person. That's not the sort of thing an AI model is going to be able to do easily.
It's an intern somewhere in the dungeons of the Omega
We're really
factory.
sorry, Swatch, but I am sending this to see what I get back. There's even a telephone number. When was the last time you saw a website with a telephone number? If it hadn't been the fact it was 7 o'clock in the morning and no one is in yet at Swatch, I would be phoning that number live on this show to see what happens. So
as long as it rings, as long as it doesn't ring on the bedside table of one of the Hayeks, I'm not interested.
Well, I think everyone should now put Swatch to as much inconvenience as they put us to in filling in this balloon form by asking for your data that they've collected on you to now be deleted and for them to prove it. And if you then start getting marketing material from Swatch Group after having deleted it, I think there's probably a chance that you can sue them for more than you would have paid for the little watch. So that's just a little thing.
I'm just curious to see what kind of data they're going to have on you. It's going to be like, Rick, Scottish farmer, wears Panerai, speaks badly about Swatch and Omega and the moon.
We hate him.
No, to be fair, speak well of the moon. Speak well of the moon.
Speaks kindly of moon, but not moon watches.
Not moon watches, even though I own some. This is the thing. It's like being a football fan and having the right to boo your own team. I own some of these watches. I have the right to boo them if I think they've done something bad, not to be judged. The classy thing, as you say, David, would have been that the answer to this should have been yes and indeed no.
It's called the MoonSwatch 1984, not the 1969. It's MoonSwatch 1984.
So that would
be
very
Orwellian, this whole thing.
There was also open answers. Why you wanted, there were no judge because that wasn't the sort of thing they could run through in AI. You could have answered anything about being a somnambulist.
So that's possible, technically.
Beat time, there was an answer. There was an answer to where Apollo 11 landed. There was a non-Rolex answer to that. There was when you could do 1965 or indeed 65, and the AI would have let you through on both. Who you would take, nothing. Where would you land? No answer. What year? 1865 for Jules Verne. $1 to the 4 Swiss francs for that. And on and on and on and indeed on. What was the 51? Area 51 has nothing to do with that. So there we go. So that's Swatch Group for you and the amazing dropping of the ball. Let's review.
Amazing dropping of the ball.
Let's review this. Let's review this watch. Ripley, you have written about the Swatch Scubaqua? A colourful jellyfish-inspired dive watch. And I want to know whether your interactions, and I think that people would like to know if my interactions with Swatch Group might in any way colour what I may think about this crappy looking watch. What's your thoughts, Ripley?
So I actually wrote this review before this Moonshine Gold EBSA thing was ever announced. So it did not color my take on him whatsoever.
That's good to know.
So, but I will say they are as loud as ever. They don't hack. And there is a ghost position for the little quartz movement, despite the fact that Swatch
watchmaking.
Yeah, Swatch Group owns ETA and they make so many quartz movements. You'd think you'd have a time only affair, but no, it has a ghost movement.
Yeah, but as we know, Swatch Company and Omega are idiots, so there is no reason to expect anything good from them. I mean, all they do is they upset potential customers who would expect that they produce a watch that has any value whatsoever.
They have done a few nice things here. It's way cheaper than the MoonSwatch. This is now the second batch of jellyfish-inspired colorways, and those white bits you see on the case are bioceramic rather than just the translucent bioplastic or whatever, because those would be the higher wear areas and the bioceramic would be a bit more robust. The loom on it is really lackluster, but the strap's quite comfortable. And they've even gone so far as to change out the plastic movement components for transparent ones to maintain the similar, the transparent effect of the watch, and yet they could not remove the ghost position. So that's one of those nitpicks that just keeps me up at night. If the sound of four of these ticking in my room wasn't keeping me up enough.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows that Swatch pay no attention to detail with anything that they do, so why would they get rid of the ghost position? It's just, it's just what you come to expect from a company that produces cheap watches. Listen, I have officially changing Hit Miss Maybe to the Hit Swatch Maybe review section. It will be like that from now on. It will be a hit, it will be a swatch.
Didn't I warn you to avoid all that? Like, I know it's good for media to go through that exercise, but I was literally saying, what a frustrating waste of time.
Yeah, I completely agree, but I think it's important that we experience the way that
we take one for the team, but don't I know you okay. If you would have won, if you would have won the chance to buy one, would you have? Yeah. Would you have bought the watch?
Yeah, you would have.
Yeah, probably.
Okay,
but that's the point. That is the point. How can they? They're just morons to have dropped the ball.
So you're right. They should have made everyone feel like a winner. Exactly. If they make you jump through those hoops and then you are selected, they make you feel like $1 million. And if it wasn't for a silly little thing called social media, they could have convinced everyone that they were one of a few winners.
I mean, at the very least, send you something, a 10% voucher off of a watch that's only costing you 50
Would you
quid
have
because
put
it's
up with
made
the
by
Scubaqua?
robots.
A Constellation Scubaqua.
I could see you in a Scubaqua.
I could have. Listen, I own a number of swatches. I own some Flymagics. Remember them? And yet none of that was taken into account.
Flymagic?
Do you remember the Flymagic? Do you remember that?
Is that a game you play with your pants? What is that?
No, it is Flymagic. That is what they were called. The original Niverchrome swatches where the movement was upside down. Hold on, let me just in case I'm having a fever
very South
dream.
Park, right, David?
Exactly. I was going to say this is turning into South Park.
You don't remember these? Hold on, I'll get the screen. And this was another crappy watch from Swatch. You don't remember these?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, the Flymagic.
Oh, didn't they have the platinum one?
No, they weren't No, they were definitely made of plastic.
No, there was a version. There was one.
Was there a version? There was 3 of them. Was there a 4th that was made of?
Can you read the time?
Stuff?
What's going on there?
Well, the watch runs. Does it not run backwards? It's that long since I've even looked at it. There's some gearing. There's something about this watch is bad. I think the movement's upside down.
It's gonna run backwards if you route the hands through the back of the movement. It's just because you're looking at the other way.
So they had to add some gearing to make it run.
But they still have the ghost state, right?
Exactly. So the point is, let's go back to this rubbish watch, right? So let's
depart from Swatch because I have it coming out of my ears at this point. Okay, Scubaqua, I get it. It looks like a jellyfish with hands on it. It's fine.
And you'll literally get stung if you buy one of these. Anyway, right.
I want to like these. I think that there's a lot going from them. The loudness of them is kind of what keeps me back. And I just don't know. Like I have so many budget divers. There's nothing that this displaces in my collection. So like I want to like this, but I just don't know for any of us. But I admire that they're doing this. It's just, it would be so much better if it wasn't for that really loud movement.
And how big? It's 44 mil.
Yeah,
So
it's quite large. You do get 100 meters of water resistance.
It's a baby Dubuis.
A baby Dubuis.
Baby Dubuis.
The easiest diver.
Right. So if you're an idiot, you go and buy one of these swatches. So yeah, coming next week, the new segment, Hit Swatch maybe. Right. Now, the only thing that could upset me more and upset Ariel more, which we'll have a brief look at because it's hysterical for one good reason, is GPHG. The long list. Long sigh. So the long list is out. So basically the list, is it 500?
Does it bother any of you guys that people pay to be part of this? Like this, there's no merit. Like it's paid. Like you have to pay to be a candidate.
It's fundamentally
$800 to be a candidate.
Is it $800 now?
Swiss francs. Sorry,
Swiss
says
francs.
it right there.
Yeah,
and in case of nomination, a single flat rate fee is payable for each nominated watch.
7,000 plus expenses, I believe.
Yeah. So there we go. So that's the rule. So the rules at this stage.
Could we charge people to give them prizes? We could do this.
That's hilarious.
100%.
I mean, this is genius.
Yeah.
Someone needs to manufacture those creepy baby hand trophies.
Okay, if you're
just
listening
showing
to
another
us,
finger.
Yeah, if you're listening to us in somewhere that can make the trophy just devised by David, let us know. So the first important thing about this is, yes, you pay. This is a pay to play, which is why Rolex don't compete. The competing watches this year, and what's the funniest thing about this is I was scrolling down, the usual thing, and then, so time only makes sense. Understand what time only is. These are watches that only tell the time. That's fine.
This is hysterical, this whole thing.
And then you get to a new section called Essential.
Oh my God. They come up with this completely arbitrary, just nonsense, basically.
What is the criteria for essential?
I haven't
just look at the watches and you tell me what this could possibly be.
What's
the
the difference between a time only and the simple whatever category and an essential category?
Yeah,
it's
so
just
how does
thing.
the IWC Automatic 35
the dumbest
fit
thing
into
ever.
the essential category, but not into the time
Can
only?
the boobs watch win?
Can the boobs watch win? Which one's that?
The Chaikin one.
Oh no, the Chaikin.
Yeah.
So that's essential. Now,
Upside down Joker.
Essential.
That's the essential boobs watch.
And what they've done is they've got rid of the iconic section. So
Why
there are
do
now
so
no
many of these-
icons left.
There's essential ones, but not iconic ones?
Yeah,
See how many of these have boobs on them? Actually, it's not just one. It's just
not
like
just
a
one.
bunch
There's
of
a
them.
few
There's
of them.
two
There's
or
a few
something.
ways.
watches.
Boobs are
This is a
popular.
bit weird.
That's a whole female reproductive system.
So Constantine Shakin's a bit weird. MDNF's a bit weird. The Messina
Got
one's a bit
everything.
weird.
Uterus.
Do they offer an
Pragma's a bit
explanation of what the essential category is meant to mean? There looks like there's a different variety of watches.
It's just more reasons for people to pay.
We're going to have a look.
GPHG's like, we need more, just again, reasons for people to pay. That's all it is.
Okay, here's the rule for the essential category. Essential watches displaying one or several of the following indications: hours, minutes, seconds, date, power reserve indicator, classic moon phases, day-night indicator. They may feature a dial or retrograde display, and they may not fall within the respective definitions of the time only, complication, and gem set
Thank you,
categories.
Waco. You've really upgraded this entire experience.
Okay, wait. So
This
it can
is
feature
just
one or more of anything past an hour hand. That is just like, you just undid everything in that sentence. Just like what? What?
Just say, if you pay us, we will list your watch somewhere.
It
somehow.
would be easier.
Exactly.
This is the section should really have been called of, you're not making the next round, but for 700 notes, we can give you a bit of PR category. So,
Yeah, this is basically like their version of our sponsored posts, just way less ethical. That's all this shit is.
That's what should call it. If someone knows how to hack a website, if they could change essential to sponsored post round, that would be good. So I think the question then is, in the essential category, which 6 watches are we putting through to the next round? It's just all the ones that...
We're not even getting paid to do this. I refuse to participate.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes.
Where's our cut?
Bremen seem to have submitted every watch they own. Let's just count how many categories Bremen are in. Let's have a look. Are they in the time only?
Just type in Bremen as a search. Just
if you can't convince people to like you, just buy their opinion, huh?
Yeah.
For the love of God, just search for Bremen. Don't scroll through the whole thing.
Is there a search for Bremen?
Search the page for Bremen. Just Control F.
The old Control F.
Yeah, I didn't know you could do that with the website, but there you go.
Control F.
Rick and the internet. It's our special section.
I am controlling
F.
Oh,
how
there
to
we
get
go.
through the Beauvais website.
Bremen.
Okay.
It appears to reference Bremen 5 times, so there's 1 Bremen, 2 Bremens.
Jesus.
Where's the Bremen? 3 Bremens.
That's the 3rd. Okay.
4 Bremens.
All the Bremons.
And 5 Bremens.
I guarantee
what
you
category
they will
is
win
the
in
Felix,
one of those.
What category is the Felix the Cat in?
Felix the
Random.
Cat.
This one, the one
in
we're
the
looking
cat
at.
category, of course.
That is in the Petite Aiguille, e.g. the cheap watch section. Or is that the other one? That's
a lot of these are not cheap watches.
And Challenge is really cheap. Petite Aiguille is slightly cheap.
When are this like a 10 grand watch is cheap?
Look, David's got a very valid point. We need to find some online betting market that we can lay up just a bet that Bremen
GPHG.
wins something. They win something. Someone to take a bet on that, because you submit 5 watches, you're winning something, surely.
Well, and if you win 5 times or get nominated 5 times, that's 35 going the way of the GPHG. So
that's right. How many warm balls have you got? Right.
I mean, I forget now, but last year I went through the anomalies, and there were some of these, like, I think one of my favorite examples is Hubring, a watch brand that is, a charming little brand from Austria. And they have won like 3 or 4 awards. And I'm like, how is it possible that certain major, amazing, incredible creators have won 0 times and Hubring has won 3 times? It's not supposed to happen even within a decade to win twice, something like this. I mean, they're good watches, but they're not that great.
Well, so how many ways do we have to say this entire awards thing is a scam, is a sham?
Yeah, it's rigged.
Yeah, we spend so much time on it. The brand spends so much money on it. I don't know how to make this thing go away. It just seems to get more and more mutated over time.
It's just growing. It's taking over.
I hate this thing.
Can we tailgate it? Like, can we just go hang out outside the event with some...
It's just a parasite.
Cook some hot dogs or something?
I think we need to do something about this. This needs to expose for the lunacy it is beyond.
We should make a joke version of this.
So let's
just make our own, but really cheap version, like dollar nominations.
You could just mix up the watches.
The best small watch. The mall watch of the year.
The mall watch of the year.
I saw this in a plastic window somewhere.
Most shameless homage.
I propose that for this year's GPHG, we
Most
do
expensive steel watch.
We do a live simulcast review of the award show. Is anyone interested in just broadcasting like the 2 grumpy old guys from the Muppet Show, just throwing slings and arrows during the process?
It would be torture to have to do That's the thing.
How many hours is that? How many hours is that?
It'll be fun.
Unpleasant.
I mean, look at this. What is this watch? A Zibulu. What? Zibulu. I don't even know what that is.
Again, there's no gatekeeper here. It's just whoever paid the amount of money.
Exactly.
And
but it does, it does bring you, so to be fair, there's no way any of us are coming across the Buland watch unless it's brought to us courtesy of GPHG.
A Grandeur, a Quiet Club.
It's just unbelievable.
The Clitoris watch. It's a very eclectic.
Constantine, Mr. Chaikin appears to he's got 3 watches in this.
Look at you. You're really good with your Control F now.
I know. Hey, I know all about Control F. I know all about it.
It's only 2.
There we go.
Because one of the is
naming it twice.
why is there a watch brand called Liar?
The liar from 2004. It's basically it runs in the new old stock category.
I borrowed my hands from. Is it Panerai? Who'd they take this hands from?
Kind of Panerai hands.
It's a Blancpain or something. I think those are Blancpain hands.
So
Maybe they're definitely not liar hands.
Okay, is there a control function to select a random watch? I mean, come on, look at some of these.
AP. Search
What's
for
that
AP.
what's that melted AP there?
Yeah, control.
Because last year there were like 7 or 8 entries from AP, and they
this says 42, but that's not right. How do I do it?
You got to do auto-bar.
AUD. This says there's 8, but that can't pop.
Yeah.
So there's one there.
No, there's one above.
No, it's already the second one.
Yeah, that's already the second.
No.
Okay.
So this one here, this gold time only one. That's one. Second one, the jumper one, the bathroom scales from Audemars Piguet. 3, that's Renault, so that doesn't count.
Okay, so it's 2.
Audemars 3, a Royal Offshore. That's the one. That's the one.
Just ripping my mind.
What category is that one for?
Pinot. That is in tourbillon category.
Sure,
that's
why not?
What a terrible tourbillon. Doesn't make any sense for tourbillon.
4, Royal Oak Jumbo Extra Thin Self-Winding Chronograph, 150th anniversary. 5, a pocket watch, the 150 Heritage. And 6, so actually they have more than Bremen in the show. They have 6 watches. This is also the news watch.
Why would any watch? I mean, the watch industry at this current stage is so diverse and so huge. How is it possible that any one of the brands can have 6 entries or 8 entries every single year?
Because the intern
an award.
Because the intern had a budget of $4,000 and decided to submit the 6 watches that were sitting in front of them. The slow movers in the stock department.
Yeah.
There's
a bunch of new entries though, like Bugneri, and I see a number of watches that I've never heard about.
The reality is
they consider it a marketing expense. None of these, none of them are going to move past this round. They see this as a roughly $1,000 cost. And I'm not sure what, but they're hoping that people go here and be like, oh, somebody selected me. And that's what really bothers me. It's not even that they charge money, that it's a farce. From the very beginning, the whole premise of this is complete bullshit.
I tell you who's good at marketing and that is using it exactly the way it should be used. Fears appears to have 3 watches. The Brunswick 40, Mini Panerai, the Redcliffe 39, looks a bit like not a Monday.
A Braun.
Braun, that's what I'm looking for. And another Fears with a jumping hour Celestial. So there you go. There's someone that knows how to play Erge. Where's this one here? LG.
I think it's how Hungarians pronounce LG. Actually, maybe it's an LG. Life's good.
There you go.
Look at all this. Again, this deserves like a new stock category. This whole thing. It's just.
Yeah. So there we go. There's the one as a GPHG for you, Ariel. You don't need to worry about it now for a few months more till the shortlist comes out.
Let's leave Ariel alone because now I can see the fire in his eyes and he's ready to.
No, it's actually the fire in his eyes has gone out. He's decided
down upon D.
He's finally realised none of this is worth it, and he's just giving up. He's going to go and review
You just
chairs.
want to have your fun.
I know.
Trying to be all academic about this.
That's right. So there we have it. Right, let's see what else we've got that we can talk about today. Unfortunately, the website appears to have crashed, so I will need to reload the website. It's obviously taking the hump us chatting about GPHG. So yeah, the Tinternet appears to have crashed, gentlemen. So yeah, we're not reviewing anything else. Hold on. I'll need to. So talk amongst yourselves. What's going on in the world of watches?
We just published a watch you're going to love to hate.
All right, good. If I could get the website to load,
it's working for me.
Would no, it's not. I can get the link. But it's just not.
Rick, you're just leaning into this Rick and the Internet segment.
Yes,
on this podcast.
Learns the Internet live on television. So here we go. Internet's still not working. So they go, tell me about what's just gone live on the
Describe
website.
it for our listeners.
It's a Fossil Incredible Hulk watch.
Very good.
Specifically honoring a 1962 rendition of the Incredible Hulk.
Right. Okay. I get the store to load. So there we go.
What is all this?
News.
All this that everything we have to honor from the 60s at all times. Like it's just why? Where is all this coming from? Like nothing from the 70s, nothing from the 80s, nothing from the 50s, nothing from the 90s. It's every freaking thing. The last couple of months that was a heritage, an anniversary, or an honor, or a tribute, or whatever was 1960 something.
It's the last time gas prices were good, David. I want to remember it.
Maybe Swatch will allow me to refuel.
Oh, there we go. Right. It's working again. Let's share this. This is the latest drop in the website. Fossil Marvel Incredible Hulk. Oh, yeah. I hate it already.
Jesus.
Blimey. That's
so tasteful.
Looking.
So incredible.
What an attack on the senses.
I'd still buy this.
I'd still buy this rather than a Swatch.
Why do they always put the
this.
hands right in the center of his trousers? It doesn't matter the superhero. It's like they know what they're doing.
That's called propeller pants.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit. Is there much more to say about this?
Did you notice that the case is green?
Yeah, the case is definitely green.
PVD green or maybe IP green.
Yeah.
What's with the dazzle?
Smash.
It turns.
Exploding?
It turns.
Yeah, I think it's like he smashed it or something.
Yeah.
Supposed to be Hulk smashed.
Do you get a badge?
It comes with a pin, yes.
Oh, that's cool. Oh,
yeah. And see how Hulk smashes Miota?
See,
I like that.
Now, if you were a great big multinational corporation and you just put 1 million people to inconvenience, maybe sending them a pin badge would have been a good thing to do for their appreciation of all that they'd taken part in. But no, great big corporations.
I'm just saying, for the same
about.
Amount of money as whatever that MoonSwatch is, you get a pin. This is a lot more bang for your buck.
It is literally more bang for your buck than buying a crappy MoonSwatch.
And look, there's a little symbol on the side that reminds me of my love of radium.
Symbol on the side of what? Of the
on
what?
The crown.
On the crown. The crown's a nice touch. I like that.
I'm looking for the picture. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So see, you can dream of being, of radioactivity.
This is the case and crown I want for the. I don't remember what year it was, but it was the April Fools where I had the depleted uranium Hublot.
Oh, right,
yeah, that was hilarious. What happens when you get stopped at the airport, with the sign on your crown? That's
you remind them it's April
security
Fools.
will love it.
You're like, April Fools.
No, I mean this particular watch. You're wearing
just say
it with the
say it. Just say April Fools.
Okay. Just kidding. I am carrying no uranium with me. Right. Okay. So
what I want to know is why were they inspired by that specific 1962 rendition of the Hulk, like that comic book. I did some research. It's sort of valuable. It's not that special. It's on the box. So if you scroll through here, there's a picture of the front of the comic because it's on the packaging. But I want to know what it was about that issue. There we go. There's that. Is
it possible that IP is not owned by Marvel anymore and it's owned by somebody else?
This is literally a collaboration with Marvel.
Oh, it's actually with Marvel as opposed to... the article dropped about 30 seconds ago and the internet wasn't working. So it is with Marvel as opposed to...
Yeah.
Right, okay. Fossil times Marvel. Okay, fair enough. That's fairly clear.
It's so Marvel-y. Marvel wanted the first name, like on the billing, they wanted to be Marvel and Fossil, which I refuse to say really, because I mean, who did most of the work here? It's clearly Fossil. Okay, I don't know why Marvel gets so much credit.
You say work. I mean, work implies
they had to prototype this.
Okay, yeah, somebody had to cut this out
once.
Once.
They looked at it and they're like, "Oh, I guess."
Did we pairs of purple pants they had to destroy in the making of this timepiece?
Right. Okay. So that is enough of that. What else have we looked at this week? We looked at Ulysse Nardin. Oh, Ripley sellers. It's always worth having a look at a Roger Dubuis. So let's have a look at this one. New release, Roger Dubuis Excalibur. Okay, hold on, I need to take a breath on this.
Can you explain what this is?
Actually, Ripley, you have all the equipment, Excalibur-esque equipment with you. How? In other words, show us your knives.
Oh, I've got a lot near me.
He's got a collect.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Okay. Well,
Are you sure you're not some sort of like
Excalibur? So, despite being
weird.
a Japanese-themed version of the Excalibur series, we've kept the Excalibur name. So it's imperial, medieval Europe, 17th century Japan. Unlike previous Knights of the Round Table watches, which had medieval knights surrounding a circular ornate table, this celebrates the unification that occurred during 17th century Japan. And so you get a dozen hand-carved solid gold kabuto helmets. Each one's different to symbolize the different, the different samurai commanders that united together to unite the lands. And instead of having a table, you get a fantastic 3D sort of interpretive sculpture of the Edo Castle in the middle, also crafted from solid gold and either coated black or blue. I think it's made of like 17 pieces.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I mean, this is proper. It's still using that same
there's
class.
More. Oh, no. This one's a deployant, so it's a little bit better. A ton of gold. The rotor has the crest of the samurai, the 12 on it. The strap has been done to look like samurai armor, and it's the same movement that you'll get in the regular time only versions of the like Knights of the Round Table watches, but now you get the kabuto samurai helmets of Edo Castle.
It's very cool. And how much is this?
Oh, it's so much money. It's like $400,000.
So much money.
Expensive.
It's just all the money's $400,000 for this particular wristwatch. There you go.
How much less would it be if they actually had Japanese people make parts of it?
It would be
Actually, it's only 384,000. There you go. It's cheap at half the price.
I like these so much.
It's cool.
Yeah.
They should provide the weight measurement. I mean, I'm sure it's at least 250 grams, probably more.
It's a ton of gold. And if you really just want to nerd out on the 17th century Japanese lore that went into it, go to the brand's website because they have a breakdown of the different helmets, the different symbology on them, the meaning of the crest and all this stuff. It's they've put so much work into the detailing on this piece and everything behind it. But obviously, only if you're interested in reading it is any of that interesting.
Just say better than Beauvais.
So much better than Beauvais. This in weight alone is better than Beauvais.
No, the website.
Also better than Beauvais.
Yeah,
you can find this watch. Like if you go to the webpage, you'll be like the first thing. They're proud of it. They'll show it off.
Let's see how much better the Roger Dubuis website is than the Beauvais website. Let me share this. It has it in the chat. Just catching up some of the chat. It's being suggested that Polymarketing Bremen to win GPHG is the best idea since the Swiss watch. Right, Roger Dubuis website.
There you go, right there. That's the one.
It is just as epileptic fit inducing as the Beauvais website.
But this is
easy to find.
But you can see the watches. Here's the new releases.
Ooh, the Moonlight is cool.
I do.
That's basically their Moonstruck in a way. That looks very Moonstrucky to me. Like the Ulysse Nardin Moonstruck.
Is Roger
because
Dubuis
the last Moonstruck was not so hot.
Yeah, is Roger Dubuis the new Hublot? It's kind of like
it's the new Ulysse Nardin.
Yeah, it's the new Ulysse. It's the new old. It's like Ulysse Nardin in 2005. That's the way, and that's a glorious period, to be in.
These are good. These look cool. I mean, completely unwearable, completely over the top price wise, but
and they also feel impressive when you handle one of the solid gold Excalibur models. It's a ton of metal and it's a very heavy piece. It feels impressive.
Compare the bi-retrograde calendar with the Ulysse Nardin Freak in terms of price. Both steel on a bracelet. Let's go to this one. What does this one cost?
Which one?
Hold on a second.
The Excalibur bi-retrograde calendar right there in the center there.
Probably like 45, 50,000.
This one.
Yes.
Right. Okay. This is
register your interest. Cringe.
No, just copy the reference number. It was right at the top of the page.
Oh, is that right? Top of the page.
And then you can Google it.
There we go.
The D-bags something.
And then
search the internet for it.
Search the internet is $43,000.
Well.
So
it's Rolex day date money for something and still great.
No, but between the Ulysse Nardin and this, that's a compelling comparison.
I mean, the bracelet is different, but the Freak just gets away with everything because he's the Freak. That's the thing. We have to love it for that.
I'd rather have the Roger Dubuis.
I would too, because with the Freak, it's like, I liked the Freak X when it was like 20 something thousand because I could never afford the real Freaks. But at 40 something, I've spent a ton of money and I just know it's not the Freak I want.
I only want the $100,000 plus Freaks.
Yeah, I don't want to have a $45,000 compromise watch, and that's how I'd feel if I had the Freak X. You know, I'd want like one of the crazier Freaks. This is nice. This is almost understated by Roger Dubuis standards.
Well, Roger Dubuis.
Well,
what I like is searching Chrono 124 just to see what happens in Roger Dubuis land. And, you know, they've been coming up in price a little bit, which is sad, but you can pick up some gems there, nevertheless.
And they are, like, if you get the chance to try one on, they wear incredibly well. So it's worthwhile.
Rick, there's a major, have you moved to a major construction site? What's happening?
Yeah.
You owe us an explanation.
Here's the thing. The other side of the door.
Here's a contractor's roommate.
So the guys drilling the new staircase have just arrived. So I'm going to go into mute and we're going to adjourn.
Podcasting?
We're going to adjourn. No, I've not been able to get away from my desk to tell him, can you just hold off 5 minutes from drilling the steel plate?
You don't have a little on-air thing that blinks, you know?
Hey, that's what I need.
Those are
I need one of those wee on-air
diligent
things. Yeah, that's fine. Live on the internet. Anyway, there we go. right. Well, that's us for this week. I'll come back on camera briefly.
Good news stairs.
That's us for this week. Hopefully I can get down the stairs. They're not removing the things so that I fall to a gruesome and horrible demise, but actually we will have new stairs for this time.
Can't you be saved by potatoes? Jump on a pile of potatoes or something?
I can go out the window behind me. It's only first floor. I can get a digger up to jump out that way if necessary, but I will see. Anyway, that's it for this week. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining the chat. Apologies that it's not been all passed on, but it's definitely worth watching.
Yeah, work on that. We want to see the chatters doing the chatty thing.
I did. I thought I'd reset everything, but Riverside's just not liking it. We need to get onto the help desk, which will probably be a more helpful help desk than Swatch Group own. But Swatch Group are about to receive. So send your GDPR complaints to Swatch Group. I'm keen for. I think
GDPR. GDPR was something completely different.
I'm keen for a trend to be started. I think millions of people swarming Swatch Group asking for all their data to be deleted, that they just spent all this money gathering.
You deserve to see what it looks like, and I want to see the cumulative, concise report on who you are to them.
Yeah, okay. I am going to send that email immediately after this, and we'll reveal all, maybe, depending on what it turns out.
Hashtag beware the wrath of Rick.
Beware the wrath of Swatch. This could become a thing. I am so not getting invited to. I don't get invited to anything anyway, so it really doesn't matter. I can't upset someone that's not on the payroll. So there we go. Right, good stuff. Thank you all very much. We will see you all again soon. Cheery bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.